these videos and in my articles and books, we document, we show with video and all sorts of other good information. We show the greatest lie of our generation, the hoax of black victimization. How black people are relentless victims of relentless white racism all the time, everywhere. That explains everything, especially why white people are always doing this mass shooting thing. Did you ever notice that? White people are always taking guns and going around shooting people for no reason whatsoever. That's a white thing. Y'all got to solve that problem. Well, I don't know why that's this one piece of disinformation, misinformation, so persistent, so chronic, just won't go away, because that is a good chunk. That is part of the biggest lie of our generation, that mass shootings is a white thing. New York Times figured it out a couple years ago when they said, when they documented, to their surprise, to their chagrin, they kind of buried it in the story when they did a big story about mass shootings. They were very surprised to learn that, quote, overall, 3/4 of victims and suspected assailants whose race could be identified were black. And so just the other day, we had two examples, two mass shootings. One day, I want to say it's the fellas and their lovely ladies, but you'll see in one case, one of the people is transgender, so I don't know if it's a fella or if it's a lovely lady. But a whole bunch of people got shot, and a lot of them died. So that was Baltimore, the Baltimore area, maybe a little bit north of Baltimore. That got a lot of attention. This got a lot less attention, but it's even something about this mass shooting on the same day made it even stranger. It was at a memorial service. And you guys know, if you want to find an occasion of black mob violence, the most predictable place to find one is at a peace rally or a memorial service. I remember I told somebody from the Daily Mail that, and that kind of blew his mind a little bit, that newspaper in London, because he was saying, hey, where can I find one of these things? I mean, as it happens. No, I said, it's easy. Go to a peace rally. Boom. Anyway, so the fellas and their lovely ladies were in the middle of a peace rally when three fellas roll up in a car and shoot, I don't know, what, 7 people? No, 6 people, 7 people. No one's died yet. Kid got shot.
Syracuse police remaining on the scene of that mass shooting in Syracuse where 5 people were shot while attending a vigil outside of a home in Midland Avenue last night. Now, this was around 9 p.m. Our Gabrielle Mediak is there this morning. And, Gabby, I hear everyone is going to be okay, right?
Yeah, that's right, Devin. Thankfully, police are still here on scene more than 8 hours later. And we've learned a couple things. We've learned that those 5 people that were shot, they are all expected to be all right. Last check, they were in stable condition. The youngest of them being an 8-year-old girl, the oldest being 35. They're not releasing those names just yet, and they are not releasing, they don't have a suspect yet, rather. And we're still learning more as the morning goes on, and we're expecting to learn more. They're asking if you know something, say something. It's urgent in this situation, in a devastating situation like this. We're giving you a look now at the chaotic scene here on Midland Avenue last night. Ambulances, a heavy police presence, and dozens of people. Shots were fired just around 9 last night, and our crews learned the shooting happened during a family gathering, as you just said, Devin, with 20 to 30 people outside the driveway. A woman who wishes to remain anonymous told our crews on scene she saw 3 men in black approach the home and open fire. She said she was inside her home at the time, heard something that sounded like firecrackers, and claims she saw people dropping to the ground. Now, we got a message from Mayor Walsh last night that we're going to share with you right now, a strong message for the community after he visited the victims in the hospital.
But make no mistake, this senseless violence impacts the entire community. And it's just that, it's senseless. And I'm angry, the chief is angry, the people around us are angry, and I'm going to make sure that the chief has every resource at our disposal to find those that are responsible for this crime. And again, I implore the public to work with us, to help us, to bring these people to justice. This violence has to stop.
So a strong message there, and not long afterward, police were called to Furman Street, where a 14-year-old girl was shot. That girl was shot in her lower back area, and she was taken to upstate as well. Police say it doesn't seem like a life-threatening injury and that she is expected to be all right. At this time, it's unclear if this is related to the mass shooting here on Midland Avenue. And again, we are waiting to learn more with that. Everyone involved, again, expected to be all right, Devin, those 5 people and the 14-year-old girl. And we're still waiting to learn more, where, again, the community is asked to get involved if they have seen something, to say something. It's important in a devastating situation like this that could have been much worse. There's a lot of questions left unanswered here, Devin.
Well, what's really senseless about this is that first shooting happening when they were having a vigil, remembering someone who had already passed away. How senseless is that? All right, thank you, Gabby, for that. Now, as you can imagine, it was a chaotic scene from the start. We were able to download the tapes from 911 dispatchers last night as calls started to roll in around 9 p.m. Take a listen.
Third caller now stating that 3 people were shot. We'll work on further here. 2102. We're getting another person stating this is 1313 Midland, another one saying 1317. This is possibly 2 people shot. We just have 1 female screaming her baby, and unknown if that's a child or relationship. No suspect information yet.
Another caller, 1317 Midland Ave, saying 7 people been shot, stating kids were shot too. Police are just arriving.
I just want to ask, any unit available to free up to head to Midland, shooting with injuries, looking like 4+ victims?
Here's the interesting, crazy thing about this that people in Rochester are talking about. Rochester is, of course, an occasion of intense and regular and frequent black mob violence. And everybody's kind of used to it up there. We've done a lot of stories on Rochester. But to me, what was weird, as soon as I heard about it and saw it, is the chief of police shows up. He, says all the right words. Oh, we're mad as hell. We're not going to take this anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Until, of course, it comes time to actually arresting people, convicting people, sending them to jail, keeping them in jail, and not letting them out. Then the chief and other Democrats, including the mayor, they're talking a different story. They talk the story of the new Jim Crow. Anyway, chief comes out at a press conference and goes, all that. Not really that much different than that. I mean, that's what black chiefs of police and other chiefs of police say on these occasions. What made this weird is this chief of police was decked out in full and prominent and conspicuous Nike regalia, hat, jacket, pants, shoes. Nike is a symbol of anti-cop sentiment among black people. To wear a Nike uniform to work in an official capacity in Rochester as a cop, as a chief of police, wow, what does that say? one of the local conservative talk show hosts up there, he wanted to know, what he asked was, interesting that police chief Frank Fowler spoke at the site of the Syracuse mass shooting, decked out in Nike gear. Accidental? Purposeful? Making a point? Or just being tone deaf? Hey, take your choice. Doesn't really matter to me. But, in these cases, I always use Occam's razor. Simplest explanation is the best. If you wear Nike gear to a mass shooting involving black people, that is the clothing that is least likely to make the black kids angry.